Hey guys, it's Chris here, and I want to make a video showing off one of my newest, but one of my most favorite tools that I've been using, especially with doing merchant fulfillment. This thing has paid for itself time and time again, sometimes multiple times a day, and it is a quilting ruler. Yeah, this. So, quilting rulers, they have this little grid. This is acrylic, it's a little flexible. This one is only printed on one side, some are both sides. Now, this particular ruler is about $20 on Amazon. This is the OmniGrip brand. I don't think the brand matters at all. And really, you could probably make one of these out of cardboard that would be reasonably good. I believe I bought this at Walmart on clearance, and I may have paid $5 or $10 for it. I really don't remember, but even at 20 bucks, this is going to really save you a lot of money, and I'm gonna show you how. Now, you can pick these up cheaper than Amazon's prices at Walmart in store. They have these in the crafting section. Joann Fabric, AC Moore, if those still exist. Any of those stores will have this. This is not a hard to find item. Just look in the craft section. Let me show you how awesome this is. Now, one of the problems that a lot of people have with merchant fulfillment or any sort of prep is knowing what size box or what size bag to use. This solves that problem. So let me start by a real simple thing. Now, this particular item, this particular ruler, your datum, the corner starts down here, and you just put it on the edge here. So I can see here, this box here is 6 by 5. Okay, 6 by 5 and 6 by 5. Okay, so that's pretty easy. When I ship these out, I usually ship them in a 6 by 6 box. So that makes perfect sense. But let me show you first how to use this thing to estimate what size poly bag to put something in, because that's something a lot of people don't know how to do, and there's a real easy trick. When a poly bag is, let's say, 9 by 12, all we need to do is know length times width equals the width of the bag. So we can come here on the ruler. Now, one of the reasons I like this particular ruler so much is the scales go from both directions. Okay, so this corner is just as good as this corner, and this corner. So it's real nice. It's also a little confusing to look at sometimes, but that's fine. So if I wanted to put this in a poly bag, all I would have to do is throw it on this on the ruler and see, okay, this is 5 inches by 6 inches. So all I had to do was length times width, which is really weird, because like when you think about it, most people are afraid of heights. Personally, I'm afraid of lengths and widths, just me. Now, once we do that, we know that we need an 11-inch wide poly bag. So a 10-inch wide poly bag, a 10 by 12, I think is the standard size, won't fit this. So I'm gonna have to go with like a 14-inch or whatever the next size, I guess 9 by 11. But then we can do the same thing this way, 5 inches by 6 inches, so that's 11 inches. So I actually need my poly bag. The ideal size poly bag would be an 11 by 11-inch poly bag, because this is 11 inches, this is 11 inches. So in the 3 dimensions, I need 11 by 11, and then this would fit in perfectly. So Jonathan at ilovesupplies.com, this is my request for you to please make an 11 by 11-inch poly bag for me to ship this one thing of masks in a poly bag. I know you can do it, man. Now, that's how we can use it to calculate a poly bag, and this is an example that really I could use a tape measure for. But this is where this gets really good, and that's with unusual shaped items. So this was a bad buy of mine. Don't ever let the pros tell you they don't make bad buys, because this was a bad buy. I bought it, it says 532 milliliters on it. I didn't do the math to see how many ounces that was. I guessed, and I was off by 75 milliliters. Don't be me. This one also has a little soap on it, so I'm gonna stop touching it. So this one is perfect. And you know, I mean, I can put it right down on the ruler here, and I can see, okay, that's 4 inches wide by 9 inches tall. So I could probably put these in an 8 by 10. Well, let's see, can this fit in an 8 by 10 poly bag? Okay, so it's 9 inches tall, so we're off to a good start. So it's an 8 by 10. Let's see. So this is 4 inches by 4 inches square. So actually these should be able to fit snugly into an 8-inch wide by 10-inch tall poly bag. Pretty awesome. So now I know that. Okay, maybe in a 9x11 would be a little bit of an easier thing to fit it in. And there's not much of a price difference between an 8x10 and a 9x11 poly bag, but it is nice to use the right size when you can. But let's talk about where this really shines, and that is with cubic shipping and just shipping in general. So the thing about cubic shipping, most of my items that I sell merchant fulfilled, I do cubic priority mail. And it just saves me a lot of money. I sell a lot of stuff that's like jars and cans and that kind of stuff that are more than a pound. I think the weight limit on cubic, I might be wrong, is 30 pounds. I never get close to that. I forget exactly what it is. I should have looked that up. But the thing with cubic is that you need to make sure that you're using the smallest size box possible. Because although the dimension, if you have like, let's say a 6x6x6 cube, okay, so that's 1/4 of a cubic foot, okay, so it'd be 0.25 cubic feet, great, okay. Actually, no, that would not be, it would be 1/8 of a cubic foot. So I'm bad at math, guys. In my head, I'm bad at math. I'm actually really good at math, but I need to write it down. So the thing is that that's 1/8 of a cubic foot. If I used a similar box that was a 3x6x12, okay, same volume, it would cost the same amount of money. But I want to make sure that I can fit my items into the smallest box possible. And that's where this really shines. So let's say I'm going to ship here 3 jars of something. My stand-ins here are these cans of soda. So I start from the corner here, and I put this down. And what do we see here? So if I put them like this, and I have a little bit of gap between them so that they can breathe, I would have to put them in a 9-inch box. Wait, let me do it from this side. That'll look better on video, actually. So I do it from here, okay? And I would need, if I want to have no room between them, I could squeeze them into a 9-inch box. I'm sorry. If I want no room between them, I could squeeze them into an 8-inch box. But if I'm going to bubble wrap them, let's pretend they're glass. And even if they weren't glass and I was actually shipping 3 soda cans, I'd still want something between them, maybe a little sliver of cardboard or something. So with this, I would be closer to 9 inches by 3 inches, and this soda can is 5 inches tall. Well, before I made the video, I did a little bit of research, and the box to fit these like this is 35 cents on the boxery. Okay, that's not that expensive. But if I take it and then I put them like this, okay, that creates like a triangle. I still have plenty of room between them. Ton of room between them. I could fit these into a 5-inch cube box or a 6-inch cube box. The 6-inch is 27 cents, I believe, and the 5-inch is like 22 cents. So this saves me a pretty significant amount of money, especially if you consider if I'm doing this multiple times. Yes, it's 5 cents. If I do it 100 times, by doing nothing but buying the right size box, I save $5. For doing nothing, okay? But the real savings would be the smaller the box with cubic shipping, the more I'm able to save because you pay by the cubic volume of the box. So I want my box to be always as small as possible. And with this, I can see weird orientations I can do. I can lay these all out and really get a feel for what'll fit, okay? Something like that, I could do it like that. Okay, a 4x8, okay, 4x8, I have a ton of those and they're really cheap, okay? And I can see this laid out on this quilting square, or quilting ruler. Saves me a ton of time and money with shipping because I don't have to like go and make a box or maybe buy the wrong size box or anything like that. This is a huge money saver because once you order the wrong size box once, you're gonna really not want to experience that again. Now another thing these are really good for is objects or items that aren't really like, how big is this, okay? How do we measure this? Because this isn't a solid object, okay? So with these, let's say I'm selling these as a 2-pack, which I believe they are actually a 2-pack. I'm gonna put them down here and I can see, well, let's say I'm gonna box them, okay? I'm gonna ship them to a customer. Well, how can I orient them? Let's say I have a bunch of 8-inch boxes. Okay, great. Even if I have 6-inch boxes, I can fit this into a 6-inch box. Okay, now that it's at 6 inches, how wide is that? Oh, okay, it's 6 inches. That's about 5 inches wide, 4 inches actually. So a 6x4 box by 5 would hold that. 6x4x5, which, you know, I don't know how expensive that box is, but, you know, and that just starts out because when I put it down on this ruler, it goes out to 8 inches. My hand here is right on the 8. I'm right here on the 8, and that way I'm about 3 inches thick, so an 8x3x5 would work perfectly. You know, and what I can then do is look on the Boxery or wherever I'm gonna be buying my boxes from and see what's the cheapest box, keeping in mind the cubic dimension of the box, okay? Again, the lower the volume, the less you're gonna pay. Now, if you wanna know how to calculate your cubic shipping rate, go on pirateship.com. Don't buy postage from them for Amazon. I used to do that, and I found out that if your item gets lost, Amazon doesn't back you up if you buy the postage from somewhere else, even if you upload the tracking number. So just something to keep in mind. But on their homepage, and I will link it in the description of this video, they have a calculator that calculates their priority rate. Their priority rate is usually within 5 to 10 cents of Amazon. Sometimes a little cheaper, sometimes a little bit more expensive. They're not always dead on, but they're close enough to estimate. So if you go on there and you have the calculator open in one screen and you got your boxes open the other side, you can make a decision and pick what box is actually going to be cheapest for you. And that is a huge money saver. There's a huge money savings between going from like 1/8 of a cubic foot to 1/4 of a cubic foot. Okay, and I mean, it can be like dollars. So you want to not make that mistake. You want to ship these in the most economical box possible, and this quilting ruler is a great way to help you with that, okay? So just something to keep in mind. I always love doing these little videos where I just show off a cool little FBA tool that, especially I love an FBA tool. My favorite tools are the tools that you use that you're not really like, this is a quilting ruler. It's designed to quilt, not prepare shipments. Now, again, if you have a table that you could put this on, okay, they do make mats, okay, cutting mats that you could put down. I mean, we have a table we could do this, but most people, they don't have a dedicated prep area, so something that's portable, it's got a little hole on it, so I could hang it off my cart here if I wanted to. That's really convenient. You could also just draw out a grid on a table or something like that if you got the room for it. But I really, really like this. I do also like that it is clear because, like, for instance, with the soda cans, I can lay it right down on top and look down from the top and see it. So that's something I couldn't really do if it was opaque. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show this to you guys, and I hope that this is helpful, and hopefully this saves you a lot of time and money and effort, because figuring out shipping boxes is one of the lamest things you have to do with FBA. Anyway, guys, hope this was good. Talk to you later.